Cultivate peace. So, okay, first, what is the first in the barriers? The first one, that is normalize ourselves. What does it mean, normalize ourselves? Somebody thinks he or she is just a normal person, so they cannot do what other people do. They think that the other has a good background or support from a lot of resources, so they can do it. But I cannot. I am just a normal person, so I cannot do it. So the first barrier is normalize ourselves. Think that we just we just are a normal person, so we cannot do it. So if you want to do something, but you stop by this period, you know that it is the inner barrier that you have in your mind. Okay, so you can ask yourself if you have this inner barrier in your mind, so it will stop you from doing anything. The second barrier is that fear of failure. Fear of failure. Fear of failures is like you want to, for example, you want to go out at night, but you see the darkness outside and it stops you, and it is really that you have the fear of our darkness. I realize that we are not afraid of the darkness. We are afraid of, we are scared. We scare something that we don't know in the darkness. The darkness is the uncertainty, and we don't know what it is waiting for us in that darkness. So it stops you like that. It's not really that you scare the failure. You just don't know what happened after that failure. You just don't know what happened after that failure. Um, there was a couple, the guys, in Vietnam, uh, people are multi-scholar a lot. And one day the girlfriend learned how to ride the motorbike, and her boyfriend hap uh, happened to learn it after a while. But the girl had a phone call, so he stayed away a little bit to pick up the phone call. And the girl tried to ride the motorbike by herself, and there are some other stranger just passed and saw that beautiful girl and just want to tease her, they approach her and say some things that make the girl startled. And she and when the boyfriend just came back and he saw that incident, he was so scared and worried for his girlfriend. And the girl saw that scare eye in her boyfriend, and she reassured him by saying that, I won't do it again. I will never ride a motorbike again, because the motorbike asked her to her boyfriend not to ride the motorbike ever again. And then she promised, because she didn't fear of falling down from the motorbike, but she just wanted to reassure her boyfriend, and she didn't know what happened if she fall again. What happened with her boyfriend? If so, uh, do you see it, or do you recognize this from your experience, right? Because we don't know what happened, then so the fear of failures is the second inner barriers that we might have will stop us from doing something that we really want to do. And it stops us from the development, the improvement. Yeah. And the third barrier is the fear of criticism. The fear of criticism from other people around us, especially the most close to us, the closest person to us. I also have this barrier before, and strongly when people around me, when I was young and I received some criticism from people around me, and it's generated but the barrier in my mind strongly, and this is the barrier that we can see in a lot of people. We want to say something, we want to do something, and there's something like there is a voice inside the head, so that we might be start by saying like I stop doing it, stop doing it. So you stop doing it by fear of criticism or by bad words from other when they try to do something or say something or stop doing it. So if you have it and you know that it's just the inner barrier, those barriers are not real, not real. Those barrier is not real. It's just an inner barrier. And when we recognize it, we have the method. We have the method to break down all the barriers that we have in our minds. So the first thing we need to know that we need to know that there are these barriers in ourselves. Okay. So we try to name it. To name it, it means that you know there are some inner barriers, and you know what are they. For example, you know that we have the thought that you are just normal person, normal people, so you cannot do what do that other can do, others can do, but you can't. You cannot do that because you are a more normal person. Or when you want to do something, but you have the fear of failures, or there is fear of criticism from people around you, and you know that you have that barriers. So the first thing you need to name it. You need to know that you have it, like you go to see the doctor. When you feel uncomfortable or you have disease or illness, you come to see the doctor at first before giving any medication. The doctor will diagnose, right? Diagnose if you have any disease and name it. The first thing we need to name it, and then we will know how to resolve it. Okay. So ask yourself if you have those barriers. Yes. The fourth barrier, that is fear of like conditions, fear of lack of conditions or resources, like conditions of resources. You have you ever encountered a situation that you want to do something and there is a voice in your mind, in your head said that, but I don't have enough condition to do that. You want to do a business or run your business, and then the voice in your head just said, I don't have enough money. I don't have enough resources. I don't have enough. I don't have your condition to start it. if you ever encounter that situations, you know that you can name it. That is the view of lack of conditions. So that that's also an inner barrier in yourself. Okay. But you can see there are a lot of people who don't have enough conditional resources when they start their businesses or their project. They just do it. They just do it. A lot of people start from zero with empty hands. When people say that, and the only thing they know that they just want to do it. They just want to do it, and they share it with a lot of people around them, and somehow the results just comes to them to support them and to have them fulfill their dream. There are many stories of successful people say something like this. So if lack of conditions is really a thing in your life, so how can they start the sub project? How can they start their project? But the how can they start their business without just with an empty hands? And the resources of human are human or people. Yeah. As long as we have people with us, we can do anything. So lack of condition is just an inner barrier. It is just an inner barrier. If we can break it down, we can see that how transformed we are. When we transform, when we do together with the lack of condition, the fear of lack of condition, that we have another fear of lack of knowledge. The next barrier, the fifth barrier is fear of lack of knowledge. Fear of lack of knowledge. When you want to do something and you have that fear, just comes into your mind that I don't have enough knowledge to do it. For example, I want to do this 21-day course and I have this fear. I have this fear of lack of knowledge, and I told myself that I don't have enough knowledge to do it. How can I dare to have the mind that I can help people understand themselves or understand the inner self to create happy, peaceful life? How can I have that mind if I have that barrier? It will stop it. It will stop me right away. But I still remember a story from my master many years ago. He started to share what he knows about nutrition, about health. He learned some course of about health that at that time, and with the mind that he want many people know about the basic knowledge of taking care of the health. So he shared it on Facebook and in some social media channels. He got a lot of feedback, good ones and bad ones from the participants. And some people said, those are specialists or who had a good background from health. And they said that with your little knowledge, you can how can you share with people? And it's so arrogant. You know the word uh uh you know you are worth to share it with people. And my master just said that, I just have a little knowledge of my health, and with the mind to have people know them so that they can be better, healthy life. If you have more knowledge, why don't you open the seminars or talk shows or any class just to have people like me? I believe that. I believe that you can, with your knowledge, you can help people more than me. Why don't you do it? And if you don't do it, just let me do. So I was, so let me do it. It's a really inspiring story from my master teacher. I was really inspired when I heard that story. If you don't do it, just let me do it. Yeah. It, I feel so inspired when I heard that story from my master, and it break out the barrier right away. The barrier, the fear of lack of knowledge. So when you want to do things to this life to make this life, this world become better, and you know that the knowledge that you have definitely will help people. Why don't you do it? Or don't do it? Why? Uh, mm. So just do it. And the scariest thing life in this life is not failure. Is we have the second barrier of fear of failures, but is not that scared that much. So it's okay to have those barrier, but after we have the resolution for them, we have resolution for them. So it's okay if your lack of knowledge or lack of conditions, but we have people around us. We have those people who have enough knowledge and conditions to help us do what we want. And if you know about cars or some brands of cars, and one of the first brand of cars that we have today is the Ford. You know the brand name Ford, Ford of cars. The owner of that company is Henry Ford. If you have ever heard about his name, as far as you know, he was not graduated elementary from elementary school. But when he built his business and make his business, his his business become bigger, and he became one of the richest person in the world. At that time, many people criticize him because at that time, people didn't care about that, about the knowledge that we have, a condition that we have. And they criticize him, they insult him that he was not bred from elementary school. And so one day the court asked him, there's a group of people asked him about his knowledge background. And when they asked something, they asked Henry for something. Uh, Henry for a person, one of his employee to answer those questions. And a lot of people criticize him that he don't have enough knowledge. Mm. So in this society, with the prejudice from people at that time, is what not acceptable. And then Henry Ford said, even I was not graduate from elementary school, but I built a business that brings a lot of jobs for our people. And if I want to know anything, I just ask my employees, why do I need to know about this thing? I can spend more time to know how to work with people so that they would help me run my business. So that there was a story that impacts a lot to me. We can ask the help from people for those who have enough knowledge to help us. fulfill our dreams. We don't need to wait until we have condition. We have enough knowledge to do it. We always have enough to do anything when we open our minds. It's not just from us, it's from others. It's from others. So that's why our achievement is not from us, it's from others. So remember that we always have enough to do anything, enough condition, enough knowledge to do anything. Okay, so the sixth barrier is no future, no future vision, no future vision. It means that you don't know what you want in the future. So it's similar to a situation that you get into a car or a taxi and you ask the driver to go, and then the driver asks you, where do you want to go? And you say, I don't know. Just go around. And then he tries to go around and around and around, and he just drop us at some place that that he's familiar. He knows, so it represents for some people that believes that they don't know where to go and they just follow what people say, and they are living others' lives, not their life. And the driver just drive around and around and come back to the original place. So that's why many people have. There are a lot of things when one just realize that they're still in the start, in the start line. So, but if you want to be in the future, who you want to be in the future, what you want to have in the future, it means that you have your goal. You have your goal. If you have the vision in your future on one of them, do you know that if you have the vision in the future about the future, uh, all of the previous barrier will break out. Have you ever experienced that? You want to do something very much, you want to be someone very much, and even that you just even you think that just that you are just a normal person, and you have the fear of failures, you have the fear of criticism, you have the fear of lacking of conditions, and you have the fear of lacking knowledge. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, because you know that you want to be what you want to be, who you want to be, and what you want to do, your position in the future. The position in the future. So all those barriers will break down if you can clear the last, the last barrier. And as my observation and throughout my experience, I can see that many people don't know who they want to be, what they want to do, what they want to have in the future. So because of that, a lot of inner barriers stop them, and some people just do as other people ask them to do, or do nothing, or do nothing. And imagine when you can break down all of these inner barriers. Nothing can stop you from doing what you really want to do. Who you really want to become? Nothing. Nothing can stop you. And throughout this journey, we will be provide knowledge, message that can help us erase these barriers, break down these barriers. We don't have to try to erase those inner barriers in your mind at first. We just need to name it. We know it, and we know that we have those inner barriers. Then second part, throw out the knowledge and try to apply it to our life. This barrier will gradually, naturally fade away from our mind. So we don't need we don't need to try to erase them, to remove them from our mind. We don't focus on erasing or cleansing the barriers. It will automatically, naturally fade away from the mind. Throughout this journey, hopefully we can go together until the end. Okay. So at this point, I really appreciate and grateful, and I'm so grateful for everything that I have received, all the knowledge that I have learned from my master teacher, so that I gradually my inner barrier just cleans, just be cleansed from my mind. Thank you so much for your presence and your support, so that we can have this course. Okay, so today what I want to share, the points that I want to share today with you all is the journey of raising self-awareness. And that is the process of transformation. Throughout this journey, we will break out on the inner barrier in our mind and become a stronger person, a healthier person. Yeah, we have a bigger arms and legs and hands and bodies and our beautiful eyes, nose, smiley face, and we also have belly button. We turn to be stronger, happier, healthier. And at first, we need to name the inner barrier in ourselves. And this journey will help us to break those barriers. We don't need to break out those barriers or erasing them away. We just need to know, receive the message or the knowledge that teachers are given to us and apply it in your life. So I hope that you get the points today, and thank you so much for being here and listen to my sharing. And see you tomorrow. Thank you. Thank you. Bye-bye.